Born Samuel Wilder on June 22nd, 1906, Billy Wilder's Hollywood career spanned 5 decades, and he is regarded as one of the most brilliant and versatile filmmakers of the golden age of Hollywood. After fleeing the rise of fascism and Nazi-ruled Germany in 1934, Wilder established his directorial style and reputation, and in 1944 earned his first Oscar nomination for the film noir Double Indemnity. Throughout the 1950s, Wilder directed and co-wrote a string of critically acclaimed films, including previous episodes Sabrina in 1954 and Some Like It Hot in 1959. The 60s began with another award-winning picture, this week's episode, The Apartment. It won Wilder Academy Awards for Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Original Screenplay, the only person in Hollywood to have earned all 3 awards in 1 year for one film. Wilder earned various honors throughout his distinguished career, including the AFI Lifetime Achievement Award in 1986, the Kennedy Center Honors in 1990, the National Medal of Arts in 1993, the BAFTA Fellowship Award in 1995, along with a total of 7 Academy Awards, 21 nominations, the Cannes Film Festival's Palme d'Or, and 2 Golden Globes. It was the backdrop of American life that inspired Wilder. New York City, a bustling metropolis with a story around every corner, served as his inspiration for writing The Apartment, the sordid tale of philandering insurance agents and a very ambitious clerk played by Jack Lemmon, who just wants to get ahead in the great rat race. New York City in the 1960s was the business capital of the world. The overriding activity that dominates the life of this district is business, be it insurance, advertising, or technology. Over 100 of America's leading corporations are located in New York, not to mention the thousands of smaller companies that form the core of the city's economy. It is in its streets that the beating heart of New York's business culture flourishes. They are teeming with executives indulging in excessive business lunches at opulent restaurants, aspiring entrepreneurs on shopping trips to Bloomingdale's, and sharply dressed workers moving through the streets, sometimes briefly stopping at a club for a quick cocktail before heading to Grand Central Station to get back to their cozy suburban homes. But underneath lies an internal world of the men and women who comprise the business heart of 1960s New York. Under the surface of the cool and alluring characters that inhabit the apartment, Wilder slowly revealed the quiet desperation with which they live their internal lives as they struggle to climb the corporate ladder and face the continual disappointment this ambition provokes. The Apartment follows insurance clerk Lemmon, who allows his coworkers to use his apartment to conduct extramarital affairs until he meets an elevator woman, Shirley MacLaine, who inspires change and a rethinking of his own business ethics. The film was a critical success, with New York Times film critic Bosley Crowther, who called the film gleeful, tender, and even sentimental, and Wilder's direction ingenious. A few years after The Apartment's release, the routine use of black and white film in Hollywood ended, making The Apartment the last picture shot entirely in black and white to win the Oscar, until 2011's The Artist, an ode to old Hollywood itself, won. Wilder holds a significant place in the history of Hollywood censorship for expanding the range of acceptable subject matter. The Apartment showed the seediness of those at the top and their lack of scruples, both professionally and personally. The Apartment was a commercial and critical success despite the subject matter, and The Apartment has come to be regarded as one of the greatest films ever made. And the initial concept came from Brief Encounter by Noel Coward, in which Laura Jessen meets Alec Harvey for a thwarted tryst in a friend's apartment. And due to the Hays Production Code, a subject I have covered extensively on these episodes, Wilder was unable to make a film about adultery in the 1940s. Wilder also based the film partially on a Hollywood scandal in which high-powered agent Jennings Lane was shot by producer Walter Wanger for having an affair with Wanger's wife, actress Joan Bennett. And during the affair, Lang used a low-level employee's apartment. Although Wilder usually required his actors to adhere exactly to the script, he allowed Lemon to improvise several scenes. In one scene, he shoots a bottle of nasal spray across the room, and in another, he sings while cooking spaghetti that he strains through the grid of a tennis racket. And Wilder set the story during the city's busiest time of year, when throngs of tourists surround the tree at Rockefeller Center, but real New Yorkers hide out at a local Chinese food haunt. And a quintessential New Yorker, Baxter doesn't just wait for a date, he searches for her through crowds moments before curtain at the hottest ticket on Broadway, The Music Man. Wilder wanted to capture the glamour of New York, but also its anonymity. And even with all the city's most romantic options at Baxter's fingertips, he knows the best New York New Year's Eve isn't spent at 21, but inside playing gin rummy. Billy Wilder knew how to live a life directed by art, inspiration, and realism, and to that end, the epitaph on his gravestone in Los Angeles reads simply, "Don't be boring." And here's some advice for you. Don't be boring yourself, so go ahead and take a tennis racket to that subscribe button so you never miss a thing. New episodes of the Real Relationships podcast drop every Thursday, along with episodes of this show. And of course, you can find the Real Relationships podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get podcasts. We thank you for your support, and we will see you soon.